It's the power of love, Dan! My name is James Rowlands. In 2015, I teamed up with my friend Dan White to create the WNR podcast. Since then, we have been giving you everything that's happened on the WWE Network. Now, in 2018, not only are we live for the Big Four events and every NXT takeover, but we celebrate 20 years since the birth of the Attitude Era. Plus, every month we'll bring you 205 Live, collections, new content, W pay-per-views and latest news on the WWE Network. Until we've watched everything, we are with you, and we are the WNR. Yes, hello, I am James Rowlands, and as always I'm joined by
Dan White.
And today it's a very special podcast extra. We celebrate 205 Live and 100 episodes. So we start 205 Live. We celebrate 100 episodes. It's October 24th, and of course, episode 100.
And we've been through them all.
Yeah.
Well, an epic video package for the Itami Ali feud plays before the opening theme. Then Vic Joseph, Nigel McGuinness, and Percy Watson/Jackson welcome us to Newark as the Lucha House Party hit the stage, and Mike and Maria's first appearance is recap.
Yeah, we're going to feel the power of love as Mike Kanellis in action versus Lince Dorado. And it's fantastic seeing Mike Kanellis here on 205 Live, Dan. I know you're a huge fan of him.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
What is your problem with Mike Kanellis?
I just think he's a fucking tool. The power of love?
Yeah. We did well to avoid the springboard by Dorado, and now Maria's going to comfort him.
Don't get me wrong, Maria.
And Carlito and Metallic cheering him on at ringside. And that's not going to put off Mike. He's super tough.
He should be called Mike Hunt.
No, he shouldn't. He's a talented guy. He's here in the Cruiserweight division. I feel he's going to be a future Cruiserweight champion.
I feel he's going to be the next Enzo Amore.
What, as in the person you like?
No.
Do you want to wear Mike Kanellis' t-shirt?
Well, I won't be wearing one this year.
Well,
and next year he won't be around.
You might. You just don't know.
Irrelevant.
You sound like a frog when you say that.
Irrelevant. And there is a legend. Look at him. Even though he dabs, TJP.
Oh, fuck off, even though he... legend TJP's been collecting the mask collector as a... And good old Mike's in control here. Big knee pressing around Dorado. We are lucky we're going to have 4 Mike Kanellis matches here on this episode.
We'll be lucky if I make it through one without screaming profanities at James and the television.
Well, Dorado flapjack and then sending Kanellis on the outside.
Lucha. And what is she doing on the steel steps? Kick her off, referee. Send her out of here!
She has got a manager's license. She is around here. What a right hand by Mike.
And a cheap shot.
She would do anything for love.
But she wouldn't do that.
And now look at Mike Kanellis in control of Dorado.
Closed fist, ref. You should be disqualifying that useless waste of space.
Yeah.
He looks like Enzo fucking Amore.
Why'd you... Yeah, you do pick them, didn't you?
Come on, Luchas, get involved. Punch him in the face.
And KO's lines of Mike Kanellis.
Come on, Kalisto. Salida del Sol Maria.
Mike Kanellis versus Adam Cole. Who you picking?
I'm picking that I die halfway through the match of just death.
Oh, God. And now Kanellis, Irish whipping, showed his power to Dorado. And a huge impact there, crushing Dorado's chest. So impressive is Mike Kanellis. You've got to be impressed.
No, I haven't. The fucking tool has got a flower on his fucking wrist tape. What a fucking helmet.
He's there.
He's wearing a flower, James. What men wear fucking flowers in the fucking ring like a cunt?
Yeah, look, alright, we don't need name calling. It's a lovely sign. And you got to like Mike Kanellis.
Again, no, I fucking haven't.
And now Lucha House Party trying to get back in it. But Kanellis strong with a submission on Dorado. And that huge right hand by Kanellis after beating down Dorado. I mean, Dan is stunned and impressed, I can feel, with Mike Kanellis. He's dominating him at the moment. Another suplex. Brilliant power there by Mike. And we are both fans of him right now here on 205 Live. I think we both agree that he's going to be a future cruiserweight champion.
Don't put words in my fucking mouth.
I feel you. I can. Do you know what I mean? I've got a feeling from you. You're impressed, Dan. I know you are.
I really aren't.
And Maria, she had a baby recently. Incredible. She still looks like that.
Mike Kanellis was on Twitter, 20th of October, says, I'm going to say this and I'm fully prepared for the backlash. Machine Gun Kelly's diss track was better than Eminem's. And that was my comment. Moments before this post was made.
I agree with him.
You fucking would do, wouldn't you?
I think Machine Gun Kelly is better than this Eminem character.
Just don't.
What?
Otherwise, you'll be getting fisted.
Kanellis has been dominating this match, much like Machine Gun Kelly I heard Mike Kanellis supports Arsenal as well, Dan.
Yeah.
Oh, and Dorado finally back into this one. Spinning heel kick to running in Kanellis. First mistake he's made. Dorado able to come back with the clotheslines.
Come on, Lince.
But Mike cuts him off.
Duck by Lindsay and a big slap to the chest, knocking Mike down to the mat where he belongs. And a roll through with a kick to the back of the head. Hope that knocks some sense into the stupid haircut cunt.
I think he's got a nice haircut.
He would though.
And he's got it in the corner, but managing to reverse it.
Comes charging towards Lince, who moves out of the way. Kick to the back of the head. Places Mike up top.
Yeah, Kanellis showing his intelligence. Didn't say that, did ya? And then the second best spine buster after Bobby Roode. He hits it, but Dorado managing to kick out. He must have been at least 9 foot in the air.
At least about half a foot.
Oh, now Mike wants Maria to see this. This is for her.
Springboard stunner!
And what a sell by Mike Kanellis.
Dorado straight over the top rope though. Cross bodies Mike.
Kanellis thrown in. He's in a bit of trouble.
Go on, Dorado. Finish him. Boom. Hits a shooting star.
Goes for the cover, but Kanellis' foot on the bottom rope. Showing his intelligence again. Really is a veteran. Oh, and Kanellis sending...
Look, why is he getting them involved in the match? They've done nothing to him.
Oh, he got involved. They try to get onto him, and he pushes both men down.
They
That's
was just
is.
shaking their rattlers.
And then attacked from behind by Dorado. And Dorado gets the rope twanged in his face by Kanellis. Hits the O's for it. Gets the job done. I can feel the power of love, Dan. Mike Kanellis wins on 205 Live, episode 100, and the future of the Cruiserweight division right there, Mike Kanellis, Dan. What are your thoughts on the match?
The cunt wears a fucking flower on his fucking wrist tape. And that's all I have to say about that.
He is a future cruiserweight champion, you cannot deny, with Maria Kanellis by his side. So, Dan, actually, we'll start our next match and then we'll talk about that, actually. Well, Jake Maverick is here for a State of the Brand address. He says that the 100th episode, an example of what the brand was always meant to be. He highlights Ali and Itami's different paths to the brand and says next week we'll deliver a similarly great show. Buddy Murphy needs a challenger, and the main event on October 30th will determine an ender.
The Brian Kendrick sends a word of warning to Drew Gulak and Jack Gallagher. He's going to prove to Jack what everyone who's tried to take him out has learned. Kendrick is going to show Gallagher no mercy next week.
A recap of last week's main event takes us to Lio Rush selfie promo. He wasn't beaten last week and he denies Cedric Alexander almost pinned him after that little lumbar check. Everyone knows multi-man matches are decided by luck and he's still undefeated in one-on-one matches.
Murphy and Tony Nese interviewed by Dasha Fuentes. The champ says he knows DM will make the right call next week and put his boy Tony in the number one contender match. Nese says he'll beat whoever Drake puts in front of him. It doesn't matter which of them is champ, they run 205 live. Murphy rolls his eyes and shrugs about Tony's insinuation that he might ever be champ. And our main event is Mustafa Ali versus Hideo Itami in a Falls Count Anywhere match. So here we go. We've seen these two men feuding. This is the definitely end of this feud, Dan, isn't it? You know. So these two men have been feuding for what seems like months now. It's all about respect to Itami feeling he's not getting it on 205 Live, and Ali having a kind of heart determination. He is the heart of 205 Live. And will he give the respect to Itami that he feels that he earns? You said Willie. And
a brilliant move there. So quick by Mustafa Ali. So impressive. Hurricane on to the outside and then over the top. Falls count goes for the cover, but only a one.
So, referee a bit slow on the draw there. He wasn't expecting a pinfall to take place that early.
But it is episode 100 today, Dan, and we talk about 100 episodes. We've watched it since, of course, the inception of the CWC tournament. What are your favourite moments in these past 100 episodes? Favourite superstars, maybe, Dan?
My favourite moment was probably the moment after Enzo left. The episode before Enzo arrived. And then after that, I suppose it's probably my favourite episode was the episode before Mike Kanellis arrived. And my next one's going to be when Mike Kanellis eventually leaves, hopefully very soon.
At least you've not mentioned Lio Rush.
Well, you know, he's kind of overshadowed.
Well, we've seen some great matches on 205 Live throughout this time. We can forget Noam Dar beating TJP. What a great match. It did happen. Buddy Murphy, of course, being Cruiserweight champion, a man that I picked out that I always knew would become an actual face. Enzo Amore's title reign. Who can forget Neville? Of course, Neville leading the charge at the start of last year, looking kind of undefeatable. And of course, we all know what happened there as well. It's kind of been a poison chalice as such. Rich Swann released as well. So Brian Kendrick is still around from that. But now, is 205 Live in a better place than it was last year, when it first started?
I feel it has its ups and downs. I mean, you know, we've had some very memorable matches. We've had some very memorable feuds. We've had some great moments as well. I think it's certainly keeping its head above water. And, you know, there is only one way to go up. I do think it needs either a secondary title, either a tag team title, or, like, you know, the Cruiserweight Intercontinental Championship, you know, something along those lines, just so that the mid-card feuds have something to go for. And I do like that it is an even playing field. I mean, anyone has the potential to be champion.
Yeah, that is true, and that's what's a good thing about 205 Live. I think it has improved recently since Triple H has actually taken charge. But we shall see about its future. Let's talk of house shows and stuff like that before. But, I mean, with Buddy Murphy leading the charge, it's not in too bad a place. And, of course, we've got this main event match that we're watching now in episode 100.
But there has been quite a bit of flip-flopping. I mean, you know, for a little while, the Brian Kendrick was the face. He was the top heel, and then he kind of got overshadowed when Neville came into things, and he's kind of turned face now.
Yeah.
And who can forget his legendary moment when he streaked down to the ring on SmackDown? Ali with a roll-up and a roll-through from Itami, getting kicked a few times in the head But that's all Ali could deliver before he fell over and collapsed. Oh, Itami comes running with a big boot. Ali steps to one side, dives out the ring, catches him with a kick. Roll through to an X Factor. Goes for a cover, but Itami managing to kick out.
Oh. And this just sums up the Ali versus Itami feud and what the two men are about.
I think he's probably my favourite 205 Live guy at the moment.
It's nice to know.
Well, there's a few actually. I think
205 you hate more.
No, there's only two that I really hate on 205 Live.
You like Leo Rush now then?
No, Leo Rush.
Yeah.
And Mike Anderews.
Yeah. Oh, right, yeah, I forgot about Enzo Amore.
He's not there no more.
Yeah.
I quite like, I think Hideo Itami is very underrated. Cedric Alexander, I'm a good fan of his. He's had a few very good matches. Jack Gallagher. I don't even know Amdar.
Oh, Amdar. Yeah, I know you do! I never thought he'd say that.
For a sweaty sock.
Yeah.
I'll just go against him because I know you like him.
You've seen him.
Hence why you like Mike Anderews because I hate him.
Yeah, that's true. Don't tell him though. Oh my God! And Ali sending Itami across the announce table. He really is snapped. It's been a personal hatred between the two, and Itami is wanted out by Ali of 205 Live, and it looks like he's going to put for the announce table.
Well, he's rearranging some furniture. He's going to give Itami a nice soft landing on the table, not on the monitors, as he throws Itami across the announce table. And you can see Ali, his lights have just gone out and he's changed. But he gets slammed onto the table. And Itami, he's got half Boston Crab with his foot on the back. Is he going to make him tap here?
Well, he's got his foot on his head, twisting him back. Well, he's put his foot on his head. It's really, really bad. And, oh my God!
Fucking hell.
Oh!
Mustafa Ali with like a bicycle kick. Oh no, it's like a pump kick. Ace of Ali sending him back first into barricade.
Well,
literally flying there.
Itami nearly killed Ali then.
But only getting a 2 count.
2. Oh my God, a chair was there as well.
And now Itami sent Ali into the fans. Got a bit of a smug look on his face, but it wasn't on for that long because Ali just kicked him straight in his smiling face. Referee jumps barricade and only gets a 2 count though.
2. And what a war this is. And Ali throws Itami over barricade, back in.
As Mustafa Ali was perched on barricade, Itami hit him with a big kick to the chest, knocking him off it.
Well, you can see the red marks and the bruising on the back of Itami. You imagine what Ali's going through.
Well, probably a lot worse now that he's just been thrown back first into the steel steps. Itami's struggling with the steel stairs though. They must weigh about half a ton.
At least 2.5 ton. And Itami rearranging the furniture outside. He's fighting back. They're going up the entrance ramp now. And now Itami with back suplex. Oh!
Ali flipping out though, landing on his feet.
Oh!
But getting turned inside out with a clothesline from Itami, landing on the check plate there. Oh, but Itami hooking the leg, but out.
And now Itami's got something horrible planned for Ali because he's making his way to the top with Ali in hand. And he's looking back at those steel stairs on the outside. Oh, but no. Ali manages to fight him off and Itami lands on the stairs. Oh, my God. Here comes Ali.
Cross body on Itami, who was perched on the steel step. 2. Oh. But Hideo managing to get his shoulder up at 2.
2.
That must have been about 10, 15 foot in the air.
At least 150 foot. I'm not as good at it as you.
Itami's head bouncing off them wafer thin mats.
Now, how thin are they?
Mats are mere millimetres thick over pure concrete. Wafer thin they are.
And now what is Ali looking for underneath the ring? Oh my God.
We want tables.
Mustafa, get the tables.
Why? Because he's black.
Oh, and Ali gets hurt then with a huge kick by Itami. And now he's got the stairs and lifting all them. That must be about 750 pounds.
At least 1.5 tons.
I hope Ali doesn't use those stairs to his advantage.
I hope he doesn't run up them like a...
Exactly. And he's running up them.
Oh! but gets caught by Itami. Legs swept from underneath him. I think he just suckered him in there.
And Ali looks to be out, and Itami's got the other stairs now.
Dragging him across the floor. Drew McIntyre
We want the
t-shirt.
Women's Tag Championship.
We want potato!
Handing them out.
I made fudgy.
There's another one there as well.
Oh. And as Ali was draped across the steel stairs.
Ooh.
We want carrots!
Oh!
And as Ali was draped across the steel stairs, Hideo Itami tried dropping the other set of stairs on top of his head. Luckily enough, Ali moved out the way, but Itami tried throwing Ali into the steel steps and made kind of a ramp up the other set of stairs. But Itami turned that into a tornado DDT, planting Itami onto the mat.
I did a fudgy.
I just pooped.
I can't remember the noise we were making earlier. No.
What noise?
The noise we were making about an hour ago. I can't remember what it was. And Itami might be out. The table's set up. He's on top of it. Ali going up. Must be about 10 foot away from Itami.
At least 15, 20 foot away.
Oh!
Fuck me!
450 gets the job done.
450 through Itami, who was laid up on the table, gets the job done.
Absolutely brilliant there. Ali wins. Job done. Dan, what did you think of that Cruiserweight title match?
I thought it was bloody brilliant. Both men absolutely brought it. Neither of them missed a beat. They was both there on the A game. Perfect.
Yeah, what a fantastic match. And ever the babyface, Ali tells an incapacitated Itami he always respected him.
Yes. DM the GM requested a chat with Dasha Fuentes after the main event. Maverick will face Nice next week to determine Murphy's next challenger.
And out next is episode 101, October 31st.
The show opens with 205 Live General Manager Drake Maverick putting last week's Falls Count Anywhere match over in video package form, but saying he expects tonight's show to surpass it. He runs down tonight's matches and then we get into the intro video. And our first match of the night is the Brian Kendrick versus Jack Gallagher.
Now, this is a match that has been a long time in the making. Dan, what are your thoughts on it?
I hope that Down syndrome kid is in the audience tonight. No, yeah, these two guys, they can certainly go at it. We haven't really seen Gentleman Jack Gallagher greatest. You know, we haven't seen like he was in the CWC tournament, and I hope one day we can get back to that.
Yeah, they've kind of gone with Kendrick as the good guy in this one, which is a bit weird. But is he going to get some retribution after Gallagher choosing Gulak, which was a bit of a surprise in my books? But this should be a good matchup. Like I say, I think Jack works better as a face, but we shall see if Kendrick, probably in his last run, can get the job done. He's still very talented.
At least he's not wearing that silly suit while wrestling.
Mm.
Well, actually, didn't they start off as enemies?
Yeah, and he kind of turned them to... joined with him.
Turned him to the dark side.
Yeah. Oh, and Drew Gulak at ringside.
I hope he gets involved in the outcome of this match.
So, Lee Brian Kendrick versus Gentleman Jack Gallagher. So, here we go. Jackie Boy slaps Brian. That's probably a mistake. Because Brian responded with the right hands now, backing Jack up on the ropes. I mean, this has been a long time coming between the two. You know, when they first teamed together. Did the pairing work for each man, Dan? Did it help them out?
I don't know. It's kind of been like a complete 180 switch. I mean, when they started off, Kendrick was trying to teach Jack Gallagher some lessons. And then, you know, he kind of taught him pretty much everything. And then now it's kind of boots on the other foot now. Kendrick's a face. Gallagher's a heel. Does it work for Gallagher?
Well, I don't think it does, and I don't think the pairing really has been that successful. I mean, they didn't really achieve anything together, did they? You know, talk about being as a tag team or even a cruiserweight title run for either man. Of course, both former cruiserweight champions, but no, Jack's not a cruiserweight champion, is he? He just came close. He faced Neville, didn't he? I think Fastlane it was maybe last year. We're going back quite a while. It's better as babyface, doesn't he, you know?
He does indeed, yeah. He's a lot more over with the crowd, but now he's kind of fallen on his feet a bit.
Yeah, I don't think the way he wrestles and what we've seen of Jack, I think it's very babyfacey, you know, and yeah, he can bring it technically and have a different side to him, but doesn't make the character that entertaining, you know. And I think if you look at these two men, if just a passerby was to put this TV on and see these two, and you go, okay, which one's a good guy, which one's a bad guy? Assume that Kendrick is the bad guy at this time, you know, just because of even the attires that they're wearing, you know, Gallagher being quite bright and Kendrick still being quite dark.
Yeah, but you know, even beforehand, and that we used to put Jack in the same category as Trent Seven, Tyler Bate, and them two are very brilliant workers.
Yeah,
and you know, and now it seems to have, like, you know, they've cut his brakes a bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's had a bit of airtime, hasn't he, on 205 Live because he cruiserweight title scene. But you wonder what would happen if he had went down to NXT. Could he have had the same success as a Tyler Bate or a kind of even a Pete Dunne? You know, look what Pete Dunne has achieved now in NXT. Maybe Jack could have done that. I think it's possible, you know.
But then would Jack have been on NXT UK by now? You know, like because I think that's where Mustache Mountain have gone.
Yeah. I mean, well, with Jack though, would it help out the brand? I think it would. You know, I would if he's in NXT UK and we got a UK special coming up, our next podcast. If Jack was involved in that, I think that'd bring more eyes to it as well. Because at least it's someone that people know. He's been around the main roster now for a couple of years, so I think there's definitely potential. Let's not forget he's still quite a young lad himself, isn't he, Gentleman Jack?
And he's been in the Royal Rumble as well.
Yeah, he has been. And with the umbrella shtick that he used to have as well, when floating around and flying.
Didn't he do Chris Jericho with it?
I think he did, yeah. But at this moment in the match, it was even start off with, and Jack has gained control, not by underhanded tactics, just movement. We talk about the age advantage, because let's not forget Kendrick's a veteran, trying to put his boot up in the corner now.
Oh, Spanky. Never forget him streaking on SmackDown.
Well, we talk about success, you know, what Jack could accomplish. We talk about the success that Brian Kendrick has had. You know, let's not forget one of the longest running SmackDown Tag Team Champions of all time. You know, a year with Paul London, whatever happened to him. And, you know, coming back and kind of reinventing himself. He did it for a while with Ezekiel Jackson, a character I really dug. And now, back now, as he kind of lead Brian Kendrick in this. I mean, I think he's here for Jack to get the victory eventually, you know, when the feud finally ends. But if he can make himself look good in the process, then by all means, it's good that someone like Lee Brian Kendrick can have success. It just shows you don't have to be the biggest man in WWE to actually have quite a good career as well, you know.
There's been fairly even matching between them getting a clear upper hand.
Well,
Kendrick's going down and trying to look for the captain's hook.
And he got back in it, didn't he? A couple of nice kicks. Jack blocked that. He probably knows all about it. Couldn't block the suplex, though.
And then rolls through to the captain's hook.
And now Jack in the middle of the ring. In serious trouble. Gulak looking on the commentary.
Gallagher managing to get his feet to the bottom ropes.
Jack rolls to the apron, though. Quite clever.
Yeah, hangs Kendrick up top. Gets himself a bit of advantage.
And now Jack's going to spring back in. Oh, my word. That was lovely. And this is the stuff Jack can do. Look at the transition. Comes springboarding over the top. The kind of toupee over the top, straight into the sleeper. Unfortunately for him, Kendrick was just too close to the ropes then.
But then even Drew Gulak's kind of simmered down a bit.
Oh, my God. Jack comes running in. Kendrick dodges it.
Oh, looking for sliced bread, but Jack Gallagher pushes him into the corner, but runs into a super kick.
And now Kendrick trying to feel it, trying to get the crowd behind him. And you just spoke of Gulak. Yeah, it's a shame that he's kind of dropped down. It's just not enough space at the moment for all these kind of people to get enough time. As he looks to distract Brian Kendrick.
Oh, but Akira Tozawa.
And a knockout kick to Gulak.
Sliced bread number 2.
Goes for the cover.
2, 3.
And Kendrick beats Gallagher, thanks in part to Tozawa. But Kendrick gets the win and maybe evens the score for now. Dan, what do you think of that match?
It's not the best match either of these two guys have had. It's more part and parcel with storyline, I think.
Well, it was very, very close. This match, it could have gone either way. And for me, I think it was a little bit too short. I think we could have given a little bit more time there. But I think the feud now does continue with Gulak and Gallagher. And, of course, Kendrick and Tozawa.
Well, we go backstage with Drake Maverick, who says he owes Cedric Alexander an explanation. Cedric says he's surprised that after 181 days as champion, he's not getting his rematch. And Drake says he'll get it when he's ready. He's got to prepare the best, most competitive title matches, but Alexander's on a 3-match losing streak, so it'd be unfair to everyone, including Cedric, to give him his shot now.
Well, Alexander says he gets it. He's got no excuses, but he's going to get back on track. And when he does, he wants it. They shake on it, and we go to a house ad for tonight's NXT featuring Matt Riddle's debut.
Well, Grand Metalik gets a picture-in-picture promo calling TJ Perkins out as a coward and challenging him to a match.
Grand Metalik versus local competitor.
Well, Metalik with a big handspring in response to some early strikes, and he does the lucha hands, big overhand first, boot up on the charge, one-handed bulldog, Gran up top, Gran Niwara, rope walk, elbow drop, it's over.
Yeah, Grand Metalik wins by pinfall with, like you said, the Gran Niwara style rope walk, elbow drop. TJP attacks in the immediate aftermath and yanks the mask off before leaving through the crowd.
Well, Metalik's Lucha House Party teammates tend to him in the ring.
The Cruiserweight champion Buddy Murphy rolls up in an interview asking about a meeting he just had with Drake Maverick. He says next week they're in Manchester, England, and he requested a match against one of the best, and he's going to annihilate Mark Anderews. Asked what happens if Tony Nese wins tonight, he dodges the question.
We cut backstage to Mustafa Ali getting taped up and go to break for a house ad for WWE Shop's custom T-shirt service.
Well, Mike and Maria Kanellis are interviewed backstage. Maria takes the mic and tells the interviewer to leave and asks a simpler question about how it feels to be the greatest, at which point TJP bumbles into them. Kanellis complains, he says life isn't fair, and TJ offers to show him the ropes and welcome him to 205 Live. At which point Rhea says she knows he's here to ask for help with Lucha House Party, and Perkins admits that's why he's here.
Don't, TJ. Please don't, TJ. She offers to go talk business and the three of them head off together.
Mustafa Ali versus Tony Nese, and it's the WWE Cruiserweight Championship #1 contender.
Circling, Nese takes Ali into the corner and immediately goes to work on his ribs before flexing. A rolling soulbutt, a hard bill. Mustafa turns the speed up. He snaps off a head scissors that sends Tony to the floor and follows it through with a plancha. And Nese rolls through a fall away slam on the ramp. Military press drop onto the barricade and follows it up.
Yeah, and back in comes over, and Tony Nese has been in control of this match. But I mean, these two men here, Dan, Tony Nese and Mustafa Ali, are they the future of the Cruiserweight division in your eyes? I mean, I don't want to answer that question for you, but what do you think of these two men?
I think a lot of them are the future. You know, there's a lot of them that they're all still very young guys. You know, there's not really. I think Kendrick's probably the oldest one on the roster, and he's in his 40s now?
Yeah, he's old by like kind of country mile. But I think with Tony Nese, you kind of got a guy here who is, I can't say that word, but you know, his look and the kind of way he wrestles. You know, let's not forget he looks like a heavyweight, fights like a cruiserweight. You know, he is a premier athlete. I think he can deliver great matches. The running Nese finish is good as well. And Mustafa Ali just so kind of one of the greatest workers we've got going at the moment. You know, you talk about bad matches he's had. When's it been bad?
We haven't. No.
You know, he always delivers, doesn't he? He had WrestleMania kind of moment with Cedric Alexander on the kickoff. We've seen him, you know, with Buddy Murphy at Survivor Series now as well, and in kind of every match, and we're seeing it in this one as well. And it's back and forth stuff with Nese taking over a little bit. We can see the bandages that Ali's got on him. Ali's gone to the top, and Nese cutting him off with an uppercut. And now Nese going up, and he's going to get Ali on his shoulders. Huge gut buster off the top. Nese for the cover. Oh,
only getting a 2 count.
2.
So how would this stand instead for Buddy Murphy if Tony Nese does win? I mean, you know, these two guys are friends.
Well, it'd be kind of trouble in paradise for the two, I would feel. You know, they've gotten on so well recently, and it is all about being number one, and Nese there to kind of watch his back, and I think Nese wants to kind of still in front of him and kind of, you know, prove to him that not only is he his equal, but maybe Nese is better than Murphy. I think it'd be a great matchup down the road for either man if they want to play it into that, you know. I think Murphy's so underrated, and not spoil the result on this. We saw what happened at Survivor Series, so we know the Nice thing could maybe happen at a later date as he's pulling off now the bandages of Ali. Of course, let's not forget he went through the wall with Hideo Itami match. Nice like a pit bull at the moment.
Well, he's just holding Ali up by his rib bandages and just kicking away at the midsection. But Ali with a roll-up.
Oh!
And that is it.
Surprises Tony Nese. Well, Nese was mucking around a bit too much, and Ali now is the new number one contender. Ali gets the job done there. It was a great match, but, Nese just getting distracted at the end. It kind of makes Nese look a little bit strong still, doesn't it, in that way?
It does, yeah, falling out to just a bit of a cheeky cover there from Ali.
A little bit stupid, but still a little bit protected. We see the highlights of the match, a double super kick, one to the front, one to the back of the head of Nese. And then what Nese thought was a winning gutbuster.
So who has potentially what it takes to dethrone your man, Buddy Murphy?
Do you know, I don't think anybody can dethrone Buddy Murphy.
Say that. I thought you would.
I think Buddy Murphy will be the longest reigning cruiserweight champion of all time. That's just my... Who do you think's next in line? Who do you think in the next few months are we going to see as his number one contender, Dan?
Cedric Alexander.
You reckon Cedric Alexander? Well, he's been losing the last three matches he had, and he's coming out here to make sure Ali is not beaten up by Nice.
But I would like to see Hideo Itami.
Yeah, if he manages to come back, if he's not finished, because we don't know if that was a room against Ali, be good about Itami. But I think what's good about 205 Live and the division itself. Oh wait, I thought Cedric was going to lumbar check Ali then.
No, he's just helping him up.
Well, they are friends. And Ali's a better man now. Let's not forget the kind of classic matches that Alexander and Ali have had. But Cruiserweight division is so strong right now. You could say, arguably, anybody in the division is worth a chance. Even people like Cesaro and Kendrick that we saw early on in the episode.
So I'd just like to ask a question. What kind of cunt wears a fucking suit and tie and wears glasses indoors as well as fucking having an Intercontinental title wrapped around his shoulder?
Oh my God, look who it is. The Cruiserweight champ, Buddy Murphy. Staring down the man he beat for the Cruiserweight title, the man he's going to beat at Survivor Series.
Well, has he got the balls to get in the ring with Alexander?
Doesn't need to right now. He's just sending a message. So up next, it's episode 102, and it's November 7th. The show opens with General Manager Drake Maverick talking about how Mustafa Ali became number one contender last week, and that his title match will take place in 2 weeks at Survivor Series.
Drake continues, saying Lucha House Party will be wrestling Mike Kanellis and TJP tonight, as well as hyping up the previously announced Murphy versus Mandrews match.
Well, this feeds into the show's intro video.
You get a picture-in-picture promo where they say Kanellis and TJP like to play games, but they love games and they're going to get payback.
Well, Lucha House Party, Kalisto and Lince Dorado versus Mike Kanellis and TJ Perkins.
Kalisto and Perkins start circling Kalisto and Perkins to start, circling a collar and elbow, and the luchador pulls ahead, but TJ cuts him off by tearing at his mask. Kalisto slides in for a spanning, fast-paced, lucha-style jockeying for position, gives way to lucha fingers and a tag to Dorado. Assisted splash into a splash off the ropes, and TJP hustles to tag.
Mike gets cut off with a forearm and dumped to the floor, where Lucha House Party fake dives out into flexing taunts. Maria screaming encouragement at her husband. He returns to the ring and gets to striking, backing Lince into the corner before blowing her a kiss. It is beautiful to see the power of love here
the fuck up,
on 205 Live.
Just shut up.
Dorado fires out of the corner, punching away, whip reversed up and over, slide on a ducker lariat and a head scissors takeover.
Drop kick into an arm drag and into the ropes for a break, and TJ takes advantage of a distraction to get a cheap shot in. Tag made, mounted punches into a slingshot sent on Atomico for one. Pick the leg, tag to Kanellis, rolling leg lock to set an elbow drop up, stomping away at the Golden Lynx's arm, smashing him into the corner, whip across, charging lariat connects.
Following it up with another set the same, and then off the ropes with a big boot for 2.
2.
Tag to TJP into reverse chinlock. Dorado out with a palm strike, sidestep a running knee, duck a lariat for Kanellis, hit with a triangle dropkick, reaching for the tag, and he gets it. Kalisto's in, and he's on fire, baby. With a crossbody, clear the apron, duck a lariat, springboard tornado, handspring crescent kick, whip reverse, sidestep, blind tag, roll through and skewery, and Mike cuts him off. And we should just be saying, what a great match it was between the two.
Pretty much.
That's what I've done for Nitro. Like, every tag match, it's like, back and forth match, guy beaten down, and now he gets a hot tag.
Russian leg sweep into the barricade, back inside, only a 2.
2.
So he follows it up with knees to the back suplex box, and somehow reverse into a DDT. Tags made, Lindsay in hot, rolling Thunder and Seguri, big flapjack, takes Kanellis out, jockeying for position in the corner, and into the super crazy triple moonsault. Kanellis breaks it up.
Well, TJP in. Golden Rewind takes both the Rudo out the floor, and Lucha House Party climb up top. Stereo moonsaults to the floor. Bronco Buster sets up the inverted face lock, but Perkins reverses into the TJP clutch. Dorado's got nowhere to go, but Kalisto makes the save. Back body drop for the floor for Kanellis, and Kalisto suicide dives on top of him.
Well, Lindsay springboard sunset flip to TJP. Lindsay springboard sunset flip. But TJP tears at his mask. He rips it off, but Dorado has another mask on underneath, leaping up into the head scissors. And
winning by pinfall with the Hurricane Rana does Dorado. We get a video package of Cedric Alexander training with the king of the old school himself, Steve Corino, in a performance centre, when Leo Rush rolls up to mock him for caring enough about his craft to go back to training. Cedric explains the idea of dedication, but Leo suggests that's what Alexander really needs is to wrestle him. Oh, it looks like we're going to get Leo Rush versus Alexander at some point.
Well, commentary then informs us has made the match official for next week.
Well, that's a lot sooner than I thought, but fair play. Up next is Josh Morrell versus Dan, your favourite, Leo Rush.
Joy. Well, collar and elbow, Rush with a wrist lock. Morrell reverses and plants him on his ass with an arm wringer. Fast pace, off the ropes, ducking and dodging, and Josh connects with a leg feed enziguri. Whip reverse, Leo caught with a boot, but he knocks Morrell to the floor with a kick and to the barricade. Back inside, the Black Heart coming out a little. Putting boots up to him and then cannonball after referee Ryan Tran backs him off.
Well, short arm drop toe hold into the turnbuckles, and Josh is on Dream Street up top, and Leo Rush hits final hour to win the match.
Well, post-match, Leo dedicates his victory to a man that truly inspires him, Cedric Alexander. You see, ever since Cedric lost the title, he's been in a slump. So what he's go back to the Performance Centre and go back to his roots. And Rush ain't mad at it. In fact, he respects it because he knows hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And Alexander's been working pretty hard.
But let him remind you that absolutely nobody, and he means nobody, works harder than the man of the hour. And if Cedric thinks for 1 second he can get back up on his high horse at Leo's expense, he's sadly mistaken. Next week, the Age of Alexander meets its final hour. Tick-tock, Cedric. Tick-tock.
Kaj, spotlighting Mark Anderews, follows.
Mustafa Ali gets a promo where he says at first they called him a maybe, but today they call him the heart of 205 Live. And at WrestleMania he had a chance to be called champion, but he let that slip through his hands. Since then he's scratched and clawed for another chance at the title, and now he's got that fight. This time, nothing is slipping through his hands, and no one's calling him a maybe, because this time they're going to call him champion.
Well, commentary hypes up Tozawa and Kendrick versus Gulak and Gallagher for next week.
Buddy Murphy gets a picture-in-picture promo where he says the 5 Series match is like a fairy tale, but there's no happy ending this time because the bad guy always wins, and he's the biggest and baddest in the division. I couldn't agree more. And speaking of our great Cruiserweight champion, we are blessed to have him in action here against Mark Anderews, as we know him, Mandrews. Dan, tell us about Mark Anderews. Anybody who's never seen him before?
He's good, isn't he?
He's good, isn't he?
He's a brilliant British style type wrestler. I think he's in NXT UK at the moment.
Well, we saw him in NXT when we went and saw him live. He was against Jack Gallagher in a match there, and we've seen managers before going through Impact Wrestling and being a part of that as well. Coming into WWE, he's been on 205 Live before, but his style is electric. I mean, any of the old school, maybe 10 years ago, someone like Evan Bourne probably would be a good person to kind of pair him with that kind of style. He's kind of got the incredible high flying. Plus, the man can wrestle as well. It's going to be a very interesting matchup. Even though it looks like he gives up about 100 pounds to Buddy Murphy. I mean, the 100 pounds of muscle Murphy has over Andrews. Murphy has never looked better at this moment in time. He used to be the best kept secret of 205 Live, and now we get to see him in action in Manchester, England. You've got to be impressed by Buddy Murphy. Speed and quickness there, taking Andrews down.
Speed is quickness, you fucking tool.
No, speed. Look at his speed and quickness.
Yeah, speed is quickness, you twat.
Look at his speed and quickness there.
It's not speed and quickness. It's either speed or quickness. They're
It's
both
speed,
one and the same.
No, speed and quickness is different.
Speed is quickness.
No, you got quickness, you speed.
You can't be quick without speed, and you can't be speedy without quickness.
Well, look at the speed and quickness there. Buddy Murphy taking down Andrews. Andrews trying the same move with Murphy. Do it because Buddy Murphy is just too strong. Irish whip back in the corner. Andrews tries to chop. Murphy does not react to that well at all.
I demand that Murphy steps on a set of scales.
Well, we've seen him set on scales, and he's made the 205 limit.
When?
We've seen it in the build up to his cruiserweight title reign. That's why he got a chance.
So you can put on weight since then.
He weighs himself regularly before every 205 episode.
You can put on weight.
Every
again.
205 episode, he tries it on. Andrews tries the arm drag, and Murphy just pounds him. And now back in, Murphy picks Andrews up for a powerbomb, but Andrews managed to run under. And that was a beautiful slide there by Mark Anderews on his knees. Kick to the face, stuns Murphy, only for a second. We're going to see Andrews fly now. Oh!
As he springs over the top, catches Murphy takedown.
And that was lovely by Andrews. And you've got to think maybe Murphy is not fully focused on Mark Andrews in this match. Got one eye, of course, on Mustafa Ali.
Well, he should have both eyes on Andrews because he's quicker than Hiccup.
He is, and he's so dangerous. Well, we see that kind of brilliant offense on the outside. Throws Murphy back in, now going away to the top. Murphy managed to dodge out of the way for a second. Rulo. Oh!
Snake eyes to the second turnbuckle.
I think Andrews was trying to DDT there. Murphy was wise to it. Now Murphy's just going to take a breath. Get back into this match. Buddy Murphy, so impressive. Great reign of Cedric Alexander. Now, oh my God, look at the power. Andrews must have been about 10 foot up in the air.
At least 6 foot in the air.
Beautiful move there by Murphy. And Andrews has got the heart and determination of a warrior. There's no doubt about that. Trying to fight Murphy. But he might just be overmatched here. And another throw by Murphy. At least 12 foot in the air.
At least 3.5 foot in the air.
And maybe Murphy can see Mustafa Ali's face on Mark Andrews at the moment.
I see you were such a big fan when he was teaming with Blake, though.
That's why I start liking him, yeah.
Don't fucking.
No, honestly, I start liking.
Mentioned him once when he was in his
you go back and listen to the podcast. In NXT, I pick out Buddy Murphy as a guy. I think seriously, you go back and listen to him. Just because you can't bother to go back and listen to the fucking podcast, we'll get emails in and go. James was right. James was right about Buddy Murphy. He picked him out in NXT. That's when I pick him out in NXT, Dan. I don't wait until they're on the main roster. I don't wait until the 112 well go. I'm going to like this guy.
I've always liked
you know? Well, no, I'm just saying, you know. You're going to bring it to me about Murphy, I'll fight back. Andrews is not fighting back at the moment. Murphy's just wailing down on the elbows. Goes for the cover. But Andrews managing to kick out.
Oh.
And now back in the submission for Buddy.
Oh, we've seen Andrews hit the stunner a few times before. Will we see one tonight?
Oh, he just hit a jawbreaker trying to escape Murphy there. Gets picked up on the shoulders. Oh my fucking God. Now that was a beautiful move by Andrews, but a fantastic sell by Murphy.
Fuck off!
Oh, it was though.
Fucking bring Murphy
it was
into
a fantastic
this. It was a brilliant
sell.
move by Andrews.
Oh yeah, because Andrews did that all himself. Look at that. But first, oh come on, wow, spiked him.
So you can't. You have to fucking take things.
I am unbiased here.
Yeah,
I'm unbiased as Andrews now looking to capitalise. Being beaten up, but he's going to go flying. Oh.
Sends Murphy over the announcer's table. Get back in the ring, get that count out victory.
Well, suicide dive, and he probably could get a count out at the moment. Just imagine Andrews beating Cruiserweight champion, even if it's by count out. It's a huge statement. Oh!
As he leaps over the announcer's table, takes Murphy out with a big forearm, and he's just wailing away at the back of him now.
Uh-oh, Murphy's in a lot of trouble at the moment.
That's brilliant selling for someone who's just been fucking spiked onto his head, beaten up. He's still fucking up and walking.
He throws Andrews back in the ring, but Andrews responds with a baseball slide, sends Murphy into barricade. And a forearm to the face, and you can see how weary Buddy Murphy is at the moment. Struggling to stand after all. Brilliant selling, and now here comes Andrews, going to use the stairs. Oh!
Gets taken out by Andrews, who jumps off the stairs.
Like a cannonball. Risked everything. And now it's Andrews' match at the moment. Murphy in the middle of the ring. Andrews, what's he going to try? Springboard, but caught by Murphy. Going for Murphy's Law.
But Andrews rolls through, double foot stomp.
Oh.
Standing like corkscrew moonsault. Oh, only a 2 count though.
2. Murphy's just too powerful and gets the shoulder up. Murphy throws Andrews onto the apron. That wasn't that pretty. After the kick by Andrews, he tried to roll him up. And he get the 2.
2.
Oh, look at this. Andrews trying to cut the kicks, but Murphy, combinations, goes for the stomp and the knee. Andrews blocks it only for a second.
Oh, catches Andrews' foot, step up in Seguri.
Oh my God, Andrews went up to the second. Oh.
That head kick against the top turnbuckle. Andrews blocks it. Catches Andrews.
Well, yeah,
off a moonsault. But just powers up into a sit out powerbomb.
God, yeah. Andrews tried DDT. Murphy though with a powerbomb. Andrews getting a shoulder up at 2.
2. See, Murphy doesn't do anything impressive. He takes a lot of moves and then still wins.
What do you mean he doesn't do anything impressive? Did you just see that powerbomb there by him?
It's nothing impressive. Nothing I've not seen from anyone else.
It's brilliant by Murphy. You just don't like him because I like him. That's the only reason.
It's not.
You would love Buddy Murphy. What, you saying he's not one of the greatest?
He doesn't do anything impressive to me. And that is the honest to God's truth as well.
Well, Murphy's just about to put Andrews away.
Oh! Gets caught with a stunner. Go on, Andrews. Get up there, son. He's taken less than half the beating that Murphy has, but yet he's still selling it as if he's been through the ringers.
Andrews, oh my God, tried the shooting star. Knees up by Murphy.
Knees up, Mother Brown.
Huge knee to the face. And now he's got him in position. Murphy's Law. Oh, goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3. And that is your Cruiserweight champion, Dan. Your Cruiserweight champion winning this match in very impressive fashion. I think Murphy does a lot of things that is a great in-ring. There might be anything that doesn't impress you, but I think his selling and stuff like that is second to none.
He's selling his second
to
fuck off. You're just saying that because
look, he's holding his head there after all that punishment. He could be no selling. Look, he's holding the head there. He's been through the war.
He touches the bus and he's holding his head.
The selling for the reverse Hurricane Runner was a thing of beauty we've seen from Murphy. That's one of the things he's great at. We know he's a high flyer. He can fly over the top beautifully. And the Murphy Law is a very impressive, powerful finisher. And it's your Cruiserweight champion, Dan. Your Cruiserweight champion.
Still doesn't take away from the fact that he goes into a match. Every fucking move from this highlight reel is from Mark fucking Anderews. Because fuck all to do with Murphy.
Yeah, that's like going back in the 80s and watching Flair matches and going, do you know what? Flair takes all the punches, still retains his title. That's the whole point. You're meant to give Andrews something in this match. Murphy's a champion. This is about building up Andrews and showing what he's all about. And people saying, well, look how close he took the Cruiserweight champ.
The only time Murphy sold something is when he got pissed off because he didn't fucking pin Andrews for the 3 after his set-up powerbomb.
Look, sour grapes, Dan. You wish Enzo Amore is still Cruiserweight champion. I know that.
I'd fucking rather have Enzo as champion.
You actually mean that as well, didn't you? That is terrible. You heard it here, everybody. After 100 episodes, Dan would have Enzo Amore as Cruiserweight champion over anyone.
No. I didn't say anyone. I said over Muddy Murphy.
All I heard was you don't have Enzo Amore as champion.
You only hear what you want to hear.
November 14th, 2018. It's episode 103.
And match 1 is Drew Gulak and Jack Gallagher versus Akira Tozawa and the Brian Kendrick.
Well, Drew Gulak and Jack Gallagher isolated the Brian Kendrick with multiple tags and attacks in the corner during the early stages of the match. When Akira Tozawa finally tagged in, he unleashed a flurry of kicks to Gulak before landing on a suicide dive and on the outside. In the end, a miscommunication between Kendrick and Tozawa allowed Gulak to take advantage by picking up a 1-2-3 over Tozawa with a unique pinfall.
Well, this match wasn't the most enthralling, but the finish was a good way to continue the storyline. The post-match confusion between Kendrick and Tozawa seemed to have a hint at a match between the two in the future. If that is the case, we see Tozawa turn heel and align with Kendrick's former partners, Gulak and Gallagher.
Well, that might be interesting. Well, match 2 is Kalisto and
Lince
Dorado versus Mike Karma and Craig Kieserman.
Well, Kalisto and Dorado picked up a quick victory over the unknown Mike Karma and Craig Kieserman. The finish came when Kalisto took out one of his opponents with a Salida del Sol, followed by an acrobatic move to the ring. Lince Dorado landed a shooting star press on the other opponent to get the win. Following the match, Maria Kanellis appeared on the screen and warned that Mike Kanellis will return next week to face Gran Metalik.
Well, this was a very entertaining for a squash match. If Lucha House Party can produce lively matches like this on Raw, they should have a bright main roster future.
So, of all the people from the 205 Live division to go up to the main show, main roster, Lucha House Party?
I know, it's weird, Lucha House. It's only because Raw haven't got any tag teams, have they? Really? I mean, they've got the greatest tag team of all time in Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. But apart from that, you know, there's not really a lot else. So it's kind of weird that they've been on the main roster. But I think there's a lot of cruiserweights that you can make into tag teams as well. I thought we saw it in the past, you know, why Lee, Brian Kendrick and Jack Gallagher never went up to the main roster to have an opportunity. I just don't know. You know, it's a bit weird. But anyway, it's main event time. It's Cedric Alexander versus Leo Rush. The former Cruiserweight champ lost the last 3 times, going against Leo Rush, who is undefeated here on 205. This will be a very interesting matchup. We know how quick Alexander is. You might argue Leo Rush, for how annoying he is, might be the faster of the two. Has Leo Rush done anything since his debut to, you know, I know how much you hate Buddy Murphy, but what about Leo Rush? Has he done anything to kind of warm you to him?
Again, no, he's not really done anything that makes me think, oh yeah, you know, he's got talent.
Well, I don't know. I think he's not bad on promos because he's just quite annoying. You know, we've seen him obviously team up with Bobby Lashley and become his manager, and Lashley turn to the dark side. But I mean, Rush can go in the ring. I mean, he's the smallest probably of everybody in the cruiserweight division, but we can just see what these two men can do. And it is nice stuff in the early going. Hurricane Runner, both men landed on their feet. This match could be really, really quick. But I think Rush is unlikable. I just think he's too small to have his own success. I can't see him going that far. I mean, maybe in 205 Live, but even in the main roster, I just can't see it at the moment. I mean, you talk about small guys, but he's really... I mean, Mysterio is taller than Leo Rush.
His annoyance is probably the equivalence of Vicky Guerrero on the mic.
Yeah, that's fair. But that's a good thing to have, though, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, he is so annoying with his Lashley. You just kind of want to see him get beat up. Get hold of him at the moment.
Springboard Hurricane Rana there for Leo Rush to Alexander.
And he's got that grin on his face as well.
Well, he knows this is a perfect opportunity to have a match with Cedric Alexander. I mean, as you say, he's on a losing streak at the moment.
Maybe it's time for Cedric to assess his options and maybe think to himself, I've done what I can on 205. Is it time to try my hand at Raw or SmackDown? You know, you think Alexander deserves a chance on the main roster?
I think he does, yeah. You know, he's got quite a size for a cruiserweight. So, yeah, I think he's definitely got good in-ring talent as well. But again, is these kind of people, you know, is the smaller guys kind of best of going into a tag team with someone? I mean, you know, you can't count out what success cruiserweights have had. I mean, Yurio of old, you know, he's had title runs. Even Kalisto with the US title run.
Yeah, I think Kalisto's great as well. I think on 205 he could be on the main roster. I think someone like Cedric, I think if he was given an opportunity, even if it was to move across to NXT, I think Cedric would be phenomenal there. You know, I really do. Like, we've seen what he could do in matches, even going back to the kind of CWC. There's something likeable about Alexander. That's something other wrestlers didn't. You know, people like Rich Swann, for me, just didn't have Alexander. I can't explain why I do, but there's just something about him that I think, you know, he's earned his dues and whatnot. And yeah, I can get behind him. You know, and I think with Cedric going for like kind of US Intercontinental title, I think it's definitely an opportunity there. But like you said, the problem with WWE at the moment, they've just got too many wrestlers. There's just too many guys trying to fill spots. As Leo's caught in the second rope.
Oh, he had his chin perched on that second turnbuckle. Alexander comes along and just kicks it. Is this like the startings of a heel turn for him? I mean, you know, using turnbuckles in manoeuvres, it's not normally a facey type thing, is it?
Well, it's something that we can see. You know, Alexander has been a full face since he's been on 205 Live, so it might be nice to see him try, a few other things as well. There's still a lot of time. He's still quite young as well to try that. He'll turn on 205 Live maybe and do that, moving across to Raw or SmackDown. I think Cedric's definitely still got a bright future. But, if you think about Lio Rush, he's on Raw every week, Bobby Lashley. So he's got an opportunity to really get his face across coming in. And now he's on 2 programs in a week,
Yeah, but I'd rather see him do the Singh brothers thing and just come out just to be someone's whipping boy for, a dominant wrestler. I suppose the Singh brothers weren't really doing it for a dominant wrestler. I was doing it for Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, but he was champion, wasn't he? So, yeah.
Yeah, but seeing him coming out, being the whipping boy for Lashley, I'd rather see him do that than a valuable spot on 205 Live.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. As Lio Rush here, quite surprisingly, has got one over on Cedric, drop-kicked him against the barricade.
And brilliant selling there by Alexander. I mean, he gets hit and he stays down for a few seconds and sells it as if he's actually going for a war.
Well, he sent him into the steel stairs as well and then throws him back in the ring. And Alexander's a bit startled at the moment. Rush is smirking.
No, James, he hasn't got a cigarette in his gob. He's just got a smug-looking fucking look on his fucking face.
And now just wailing away on Alexander. Big right hands.
And he has got the momentum and the, of being unbeaten. Didn't he beat your man?
I don't want to talk about Noam Dar.
Noam Dar.
No, Noam Dar. Yeah, just leave it at that at the moment. I mean, Lio Rush got very lucky. Very, very lucky against Noam Dar. But if he can get a victory here tonight against Cedric Alexander, then most definitely will be one of the top guys in the cruiserweight division right now. Beating Alexander, you got Mustafa Ali maybe up above him, But apart from that, Alexander is very close to line. Tony Nese, of course, as well. Yeah, but imagine if Rush can beat Alexander, then right, he might stand a chance against Buddy Murphy, but maybe someone against Mustafa Ali or something like that. A very impressive submission now on Cedric. Even though Alexander's got the size of Rush just sitting on his back.
Yeah, well, size doesn't mean anything, James. Everyone's the same height, laying down.
And now, impressive by Leo, showing his vicious side.
But Alexander managing to get up to a vertical base, slams Rush into the corner, gets some separation between the two. Rush again straight back onto his back and into the corner for a second time.
Well, Rush is relentless, but Alexander fights back with a chop. Rush tried to kick. Alexander caught him, turned him inside out, and impressive by Rush there, how just quick he is.
Couple of kicks to the head. Oh, goes for a cover, but only gets a 1 count.
1. And Rush just seems very confident at the moment. There's no real frustration on his face. Just taking it in his stride. Cedric might not have fought anybody like Rush before. Leo aiming for the shot at Alexander, but took too long.
Cedric catching his leg, hitting him with a spinning back elbow. Sends Rush tumbling to the corner.
Alexander now trying to build a little bit of momentum. Just running in with a shoulder. Now springboarding back in.
Takes out Rush.
Beautiful clothesline.
So is this in the NXT arena now then?
No, it's before I think Raw. And now Cedric going for the lumbar check. Rush though bounces off, lands on his feet. Both men trading. Oh,
handspring step up kick though. But Rush managing to kick out.
That was right on the button. And Leo and Alexander don't really know where they are. No man's really got the advantage yet. Rush throws Alexander on the apron. He blocks it with a boot.
Springboards in. Plants Rush face first onto the mat. 1, 2. Oh.
But again, Rush gets shoulder up at 2.
2.
Now Alexander thinks it's tougher than I gave him credit for.
Well, has he been training with Lashley?
I think he might have been. His strength and endurance. As Rush now going to the apron. I think he'd be a lot happy if Lashley was in his corner. Alexander trying to pull Leo Rush back in, but he holds on to that bottom rope.
Well, wouldn't you question the friendship? Oh, and a roundhouse kick from Leo Rush.
Oh my God, turns him outside. Goes for the spinning unprettier. Hits it.
1, 2. Oh, but Cedric just managing to kick out. And Rush is visibly getting frustrated. But wouldn't you question the friendship if, Leo Rush is out all the time with Lashley, but Lashley doesn't attend any of Leo Rush's matches?
You would question that, but maybe Leo Rush is going to take advantage of that fact and maybe use it against Lashley down the line. You know, we just don't know. He might turn on Lashley.
Even his stupid fucking puberty beard he's got.
Well, he's now getting serious. He's taking the wrist tape off. He means business, but Alexander pushed them away. Big right hands by Rush.
Alexander's pushing him off though. Delivers a big right of his own and just drops Leo Rush to his knees.
Now Cedric getting caught with the chops and the slaps by Rush.
He follows up with a big elbow, ducks a spinning back fist.
Oh my God, goes for the slam, does Alexander, but Rush rolls him through. Alexander managed to kick out.
A running Spanish fly to Leo Rush. Or was that to Cedric Alexander?
Yeah, I think Rush to Alexander. And now he's going up.
Fine Lauer.
Here comes Rush off the top. Alexander moves.
That is one deep fucking frog splash. That's a la fucking D'Lo Brown, that.
Hits nothing. Alexander lumbar check. Oh my God, Alexander though. I think Rush tried to reverse it.
He does to Hurricane Rana. Two.
Oh my God. Gets shoulder up at two. Oh! Rush with a bottom rope into his stunner.
He bounced off the bottom rope with his ass into a stunner. Fair play to that.
Oh! Spanish fly. Cedric on Rush. Turns him through.
Lumbar check.
Oh my God.
Catapults Rush about 12 foot in the air.
1, 2, for at least 18 foot. And Alexander gets Richard. That was a great last couple of minutes there to that match.
It was very good, yeah.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Leo Rush, but he looked quite impressive in the closing stages.
It wasn't a terrible match, no. And I think they're overusing the Spanish fly now, though.
Yeah, I mean, that was 2 in quick succession. We didn't even know who really hit the first one.
It's not only it's not only that. I mean, you know, it does look spectacular, but I don't know. I think they're kind of overusing it, and it's going to be like, Spanish fly is just going to be something like a fucking DDT.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there, yeah. Rush seemed surprised that he hit it. And then Spanish fly into lumbar check, and Leo Rush did go flying after that.
Leo Rush is now defeated in 205 Live.
Yeah, and Cedric gets the win. Is he going to be back on track? I mean, what do you reckon? What do you think? What's your thoughts on the match?
I thought, especially the end of it, it was very, very good. You know, Cedric Alexander, hopefully he's back on track. Hopefully he's going to get back to his winning ways. I think a few more victories and then maybe another title shot down the line. But he wants to do it when he's ready, not when he thinks he's ready.
Yeah, because if you run into Buddy Murphy too quickly, then it will end you. So, episode 104, November 21st.
The show opens with a video package recapping the Cruiserweight Championship match from Survivor Series.
Buddy Murphy makes his entrance, microphone in hand.
He welcomes us to his 205 Live and says he wants us to ask one question. Did we really think Mustafa Ali was going to beat him? Well, I did. Our opinion means nothing to him because he proved Ali and the rest of the world that you can't stop the unstoppable.
Well, Noam Dar gets a picture-in-picture promo about how he asked Drake Maverick for an opportunity after splitting time between 205 Live and NXT UK. He's now ready to focus on being a cruiserweight and kick Tony Nese's daft head off.
So the first match is, of course, Noam Dar versus Tony Nese.
Well, collar and elbow, Dar with a side headlock, and Nese shoves him off before showing him where his bicep is. Noam with a wrist lock, side headlock, shut off. Shoulder block takes him down, and Tony takes a knee to again point his bicep out. Jim breaks special from the Scott Israeli into a waistlock, standard switch, off the ropes, drop down, leapfrog, trip Tony up, and Dar struts a bit.
Shoulder thrust, spin is set up for a backslide. Nope. Passing Nese to the apron. Duck a lariat, kick his legs out from underneath him, off the ropes, and a drop kick puts the Premier athlete on the floor. Dar gets sidestepped, put into the apron, and a single knee gutbuster to the floor leaves him hurting. Back inside, off the ropes, flying shoulder block for two, and Tony follows it up with the body scissors.
Well, Noam reversed it to pin, Nese's knee to break it. Tony switches to a waistlock, Dar to his feet, Nese switches to a bear hug. I can hardly bear it. Dar out, the Premier athlete nails him in the gut off the ropes. Dar ducks the crossbody but runs right into a back elbow. Nese to the second, Noam takes his leg out from under him.
Double palm thrust, an uppercut, the Premier athlete is down and out. Dar gets a suplex, only two. Sidestep the leg lock. Strike combo, but Noam cuts him off midway with a guillotine choke. Tony hosses him out. Dar throwing forearms, he runs into a right hand and Nice hits a one-handed bulldog over the ropes. Nobody home on a triangle moonsault, and Dar gets a guillotine choke again.
Well, Tony counters with a Northern Light suplex for 2.
2.
Waistlock applied, reversed, up kicks from the Scottish Supernova, roll into a victory roll. No good. Dar kicks his leg out from under him. Gordy busts off the ropes with a sliding knee. Murphy runs interference. Noam kicks him away, but the way is clear. Knee to the back of the head, German suplex into the turnbuckles, and the running knees by Tony Nese for the win.
Post-match, Buddy kicks Dar off the apron and raises his pal Nice's hand.
Well, Mustafa only gets a backstage promo. He said he's hurt, and he's not just physical, but in his head too. He doesn't want to forget his pain. He's not running from it. He wants to embrace it, to feel every single ounce. So when he's tempted to stay down, he'll remember how he feels in this moment and rise back up. So we should thank Buddy Murphy for the pain, because now he's going to work even harder, dig even deeper, and turn this pain into power.
Now he promises he will become Cruiserweight Champion.
Drake Maverick is talking to referee Danny Amphibbo and says he takes Maria Kanellis' threat very seriously, and he wants to make sure nothing ruins the main event.
Cedric Alexander rolls up and says it's great to be back on the winning track. Maverick says it was a great match and there's a match he's always wanted to see, and now's the time. Cedric Mustafa Ali versus Buddy Murphy and Tony Nese. Alexander's into it and thanks him for the match.
Well, because Akira Tozawa and Brian Kendrick make their entries as Drew Gulak and Jack Gallagher are interviewed backstage.
Gallagher says he used to look up to Kendrick, but now he's aligned himself with a scoundrel. And Gulak says they're no tag team. Not like him and Jack, who are practically submission commission. So if they step to them again, they will tap out.
Akira Tozawa and Brian Kendrick versus Fidel Bravo and all.
Well, Kendrick up first, beating on our man here. Tozawa tags in, stomping away. Dude gets away and makes the tag, but Tozawa takes Bravo out and tags Brian back in. Kick assisted reverse STO gets 2. Tag made back. First guy wailing away with punches that only get caught with a leg lariat. Tags made all round. Akira with a Yakuza kick, slide under. 540 roundhouse kick, missile drop kick.
Well, slice of bread number 2. Tozawa up top and hits the match-winning senton. Tozawa and Kendrick celebrate their victory together in the ring.
Well, Nese and Murphy are walking backstage when they roll into an interview.
Well, Buddy asks if they're finally getting the tag titles as a joke before saying he's beaten both of them individually. So just imagine what they're going to do next week. Nese tells Dasha she's better than that and moves along.
Well, commentary hypes up their tag match as well as return of Hideo Itami next week.
And our main event is Grand Metallic versus TJP. But Lucha House Party have come out here. Of course, Metallic gets his mask stolen from 3 weeks previously. And we get the power of love, Dan. There's Mike Kanellis, TJP coming out in the masks of Kalisto Metallic.
And Drake Maverick, PP Pants, is here to break everything up.
Well, he's there with all the referees. Lucha House Party gone to meet him on the apron. And is it a dream team, Dan, Mike Kanellis and TJP?
No.
I mean, I know you love TJP. You're going to start loving Mike Kanellis? No. Rather Kanellis than 205 Live Enzo Amore.
Neither.
Oh, no, you have to pick one. You've got Buddy Murphy as your Cruiserweight champion, so you'll need to have someone else.
I'd go for neither.
Come on, we need a match now.
And Drake Maverick is laying down the law in dry pants, saying everyone else out. It is just going to be a one-on-one match.
So here we go. It's going to be one-on-one. It's Metallic versus TJP. Metallic looking for some retribution. And a drop kick to Metallic sends TJP to the outside.
Oh, straight over the top. Takes out TJP.
This match started quick. Metallic now. Springboard back in.
Splash 1, 2. Oh, but TJP managing to kick out.
Rolls to the outside, and TJP made himself relevant again in 205 Live by stealing the mask. Is this a good position for TJP, Dan?
It's a bit of a 50-50 shout. I mean, he's made himself relevant stealing the mask, but then he's made himself a cunt by aligning with a cunt.
Yeah, but at least he's in the main event of 205 Live. Former Cruiserweight champ, we talk about how difficult it is. Look at Metallic there, running the ropes.
Gets caught by TJP, looking for the TJP knee. No.
My God, it's like a variation of sharpshooter. I mean, Perkins can do a lot of stuff submission-based in WWE. We've seen him do it in the past. He's not really what you call a real high flyer, but he can do that.
as he flies over the top rope to take out Metalik.
He's got such a great submission and ground game. You know, it's weird how good TJP is. I mean, if he was another 100 pounds heavier, maybe he would be, you know, one of the lead guys in WWE. It's just a shame his size might be holding him back a little bit. And now Perkins just mounts him, comes down with the right hand.
Well, there's certainly been a thorn in the side of the Lucha House Party. I mean, he is beating Randy Orton 3 masks to 1.
He is beating him 3 masks to 1. But, I mean, if you think about it, even Perkins might see himself in Lucha House Party. You know, when he first started, of course, wearing a mask. He used to be Suicide in TNA as well. So he's worn the mask before. He knows about the tradition. And maybe saying to these guys that you don't need the mask. Just be yourself, or maybe he just hates that now about him.
Well, his face is too good looking to cover up, James.
And he's working on the mask of Metalik in this match.
Maybe he could team up with Randy Orton to go against a couple of members of the Lucha House Party if they was on different shows.
Nice suplex and then backdrop by TJP.
Goes for the cover. 2. Oh, only a 2 count.
2.
And fans in the front row just look at him. It's really annoying.
So 100 episodes of 205 Live, Dan. Who's been your favourite Cruiserweight champion? What's been your favourite time watching 205 Live?
I think the Neville era.
Expand a little bit on why Neville for?
I thought he brought the most grit into it. He was definitely the most predominant heel on the show. And I just think he's brilliant performer as well. You know, I've seen him, I've been watching Raws from 2015 and, you know, seeing Neville come out there when he was just a clean-shaven, the man that gravity forgot. And the matches that he pulled out. I mean, there was a brilliant match on Raw for the NXT Championship against Kevin Owens when Kevin Owens first made his jump. And, you know, he was just a brilliant showman then. You know, the moves that he done certainly defied gravity. And, yeah, I think they kind of screwed him up, really.
Well, I mean, he did have his moments, didn't he? WrestleMania match with Austin Aries that they have for the Cruiserweight title, of course, against Jack Gallagher on pay-per-view that we mentioned before. I got to think my favourite era of when 205 Live was the most relevant was during Enzo Amore's Cruiserweight title reign. If you think about it, that's when they were featured most heavily on the card. And that's when they were on the main show, on the pay-per-views and on Raw. You know, look at all the segments that Enzo Amore had. And I think they would have been saying a little bit there with the character if obviously he hadn't fucked himself up so much, you know. So I think that's when the 205 Live was probably at its most relevant. I think this last year has been a rebuilding process, as we've seen on the show. You know, a lot of matches, it's cut down a lot of the antics that we had before, and I just focus more on the wrestling, and now it's finally, again, being accepted on the main card thanks to people like Buddy Murphy and Mustafa Ali. Cedric Alexander, you know, his title reign has done a lot to kind of bring 205 Live back up now, you know, after all the shenanigans that we had. You know, look at all the past champions and stuff that's gone wrong, you know, with Rich Swann and what happened with that being released. Of course, Enzo Amore, he talks about Neville even now, you know, going on, and he's still talking about, you know, what he was saying on Twitter about didn't want to lose to Enzo Amore. You know, he'd never had a massive problem with him. It was just him backstage, you know, so changed a lot in a short space of time, in just 100 episodes, or 104 now as it is. Think how much it's changed from the very first, when it first started after the Cruiserweight Classic tournament and what we saw, to now. It's incredible, isn't it, really?
Well, you bring up Enzo Amore, right, and he held a free, which means no pay for entry, concert in a building that holds over 200 people. How many do you think turned up?
35.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. We got 45,000.
Exactly.
Just in comparison, that's how much better we are than Enzo Amore.
See, you know, and
put that in perspective. When you first started the podcast, Dan, when you first saw Enzo Amore, did you ever think you would outnumber him audience-wise?
Yeah.
by thousands, times 35,000, whatever, 40,000. It's incredible when you think about where we come, but we've watched every of 205 Live. You can go back and listen to our record since it first started, and we followed the Cruiserweight Classic tournament as well, where Dan had 3 people in the semi-finals. Weirdly enough, 2 of the guys are in this match right now, Dan.
Exactly that, yeah. I mean, you know, who would have thunk it?
You'd have funked
I mean, was that a tournament? Because I think you was in the semis as well.
I
wasn't you?
was. I picked...
Is that another tournament that you got to the final and lost?
No, I didn't get to the final. I got knocked out in the semi. But Zack Sabre Jr. now is having a lot of success in Japan. So, I mean, I'm going to take that as a kind of win. Noam Dar.
Take whatever you want.
Yeah, Noam Dar is still on 205 Live as well, and trying to look at his opportunity, you know. Let's not forget Perkins is the first ever cruiserweight champion, the first new cruiserweight champion. And some of them still reign. Jack Gallagher, Tozawa, let's not forget about his short title reign against Neville. Beat him at SummerSlam.
But then, you know, you've got the likes of him and had a title run yet.
Yeah, I think most definitely he deserves it. Drew Gulak never really had his time, did he? We always
Tony Nese.
We thought he would do it. Nese again as another guy.
But Nese has always been like second fiddle. He was second fiddle to Drew Gulak. He's playing second fiddle now to Buddy Murphy.
We'll see if he can stand out of the shadows. And I think Murphy definitely could move to the main roster. Fuck in hell. Well, Perkins been in control of this match for a little while. Been back into it, and both men were trading moves. It's just kind of beautiful wrestling that we're seeing as it was. And then Perkins is on the apron, and Metallic there, in just a fantastic kind of one motion type, sprang over the top, Hurricane Runner to the outside. We've not even seen a replay of it yet. Perkins might be out.
The Metallic driver. Could this be it? No, Grand Metallic's going up top.
I don't think he needed to, but he's going to go look.
As he walks the ropes, springboard elbow, gets caught by TJP, straight into the armbar.
Oh, but Metallic rolls through, but oh no, look how good Perkins is.
He transitions straight into that TJP clutch.
And Metallic, centre of the ring, trying to scramble across. He has got a little bit of weight on Perkins.
Get to the bottom rope to break it up.
Oh, TJP's got one of the pinatas.
Oh, and as he was about to hit Metallic with it, he gets a chop to the chest. Metallic stacks it back neatly in the corner. Gives TJP enough time to roll through Hurricane Rana.
Metallic rolls through though and gets a win.
Oh.
And Grand Metallic beats TJP. He was messing around. Now here comes the rest of Lucha House Party celebrating. I quite like Lucha House Party's t-shirts because it's the old In Your House logo, isn't it? Yeah. So, and they come out celebrating. Well, Maria's losing her shit. Shouting. What did Gulak? What did Maverick do? Oh, Mike Kanellis with the chairs.
Because he hasn't got the talent to beat them in the ring. He has to use objects.
It was a setup all along. Maria distracting Maverick and the rest of the security.
What does she need to distract him for?
And Kanellis was there with the chair, and now here comes Maverick down trying to save him. TJP's got his clutch in. Oh my God! Kanellis using the weapon again. Referee's down now. And what an assault by Kanellis and TJP.
I don't get why the distraction...
Because otherwise he'd have brought referees down, I guess.
Yeah, but if he come in through the crowd as he did, then it's irrelevant, isn't it?
Yeah, but at least she proved a distraction, I guess.
No, I think that was.
I'm a fan of the Power of Love, much like you, Dan. You know, and it's great that they're here on 205 Live. One of these things we can look at is the next 100 episodes on 205 Live. You know, with the success of Buddy Murphy, Tony Nese, Noam Dar, Mike Kanellis. You know, it's going to be a great...
Why did you bring up them fucking four fucking names?
Who would you say? All right, Dan, in 100 episodes' time, when we're looking at 205 Live 200, who are you going to say? Who's cruiserweight champion?
Mustafa Ali.
Yeah.
Cedric Alexander.
Yeah. Buddy Murphy.
Tony Nese and Drew Gulak.
Oh, so we'll see what happens. But 205 Live has been worth it, and even though there's a lot of content on the WWE Network, it's still enjoyable to watch, especially since it's moved to Wednesday. And one of the things about it as well, there's always going to be a match each week that is going to be good. So that's it. Anything else about 205 Live, Dan, as we wrap up?
Nothing that I'd want to put on tape.
So that is it for 205 Live. And 100 episodes, and of course we'll show you more. Well, we'll have more 205 Live on our WWE Network review for December. But anyway, our next episode is going to be the UK special, where we're going to look at NXT UK, the World of Sport, and of course Rev Pro as well. So a lot of news regarding British wrestling then. But for now, don't forget you can contact us on Twitter at WWE Network Review or
at Vince McDan, WWE.
I'm at J_Roland. We're across all the Google platforms, WWE Network Review and Google+. Send us an email to WNRPodcast@gmail.com. We're on Facebook.
Yes, Facebook. You can come and find our page and give us a like with the WWE Network Review podcast. Or you can come and find me and add me as a friend. I am Vince McDan.
Go to our YouTube channel, WWE Network Review Podcast, where we've got all clips on there. And podcasts go at the same time on YouTube. They do other places like SoundCloud.
On your phone.
Don't forget we're on Spreaker Radio. We've got our live shows. We'll be back in January live. And of course Stitcher Radio and iTunes, where you can download, subscribe, rate and review there. But that is it. Like I say, our UK special is next. But for now, I have been James Rowlands. And as always, I was joined by
Dan White.
Thanks for listening, everybody. And bye.
Bye.